Have you ever felt like you're standing at the bottom of a mountain, looking up and just thinking, there is no way I can climb this? Maybe it's a new job, a difficult project, a personal goal that seems impossibly far away, or even just getting through a really tough week. We've all been there. That feeling of being overwhelmed, where the challenge in front of you feels less like an obstacle and more like a solid brick wall. You might even hear a little voice in your head saying, "You're not ready for this. You're going to fail." Today, we're going to talk about how to answer that voice, not by ignoring it, but by proving it wrong, step by step. We're going to transform that mountain from an object of fear into a path to your own summit. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah was a talented graphic designer, but she was stuck in a job that she hated. It was repetitive, uninspiring, and her boss just didn't appreciate her creativity. Her dream was to start her own freelance business, to be her own boss, and to work on projects she was truly passionate about. But the thought of it terrified her. The mountain in front of her was huge. How will I find clients? What if I can't make enough money? What if I'm not good enough to compete? These questions looped in her head, keeping her frozen in her miserable job. She saw her dream as one giant, impossible leap. This is the first mistake many of us make. We see the entire challenge at once, and it paralyzes us. We see start a business, not draft a business plan. We see run a marathon, not go for a 1-mile run today. Sarah's breakthrough came when she stopped looking at the entire mountain. Instead, she asked herself a very simple question. What is the smallest possible step I can take right now? Her answer wasn't quit my job. It was create a portfolio website. That was it. That one manageable task. So for a few weeks, she spent her evenings gathering her best work, writing descriptions, and designing a simple, beautiful site. Once her portfolio was live, a funny thing happened. The mountain didn't seem quite as tall. She hadn't quit her job. She hadn't landed a massive client, but she had taken a step. She had tangible proof that she could move forward. Her next step? Create a profile on one freelance website. She did that. Then, apply to 3 small projects. She did that too. One of them, a small logo design for a local bakery, hired her. The pay wasn't much, but it wasn't about the money. It was a victory. It was the first foothold on her mountain. This is the core principle I want to share with you. Break it down. Every huge, intimidating challenge is just a collection of smaller, manageable tasks. Your brain can't effectively process, become a successful YouTuber. It's too big, too vague. But it can handle brainstorm 10 video ideas. It can handle write a script for 1 video. It can handle film for 15 minutes today. Think of it like building a house. Nobody just builds a house. You lay the foundation. You frame the walls. You put on the roof. Each step is distinct, and each completed step brings you closer to the finished whole. Let's put this into practice. Take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. Think about a challenge that's overwhelming you right now. Got it? Now, don't write down the big challenge. I want you to write down the absolute smallest, easiest first step you could take to move toward it. I mean tiny. If your goal is to get in shape, maybe your first step isn't join a gym. Maybe it's research gyms near me for 10 minutes. Or even smaller, put on your running shoes. Seriously, the goal is to make the step so small that it's almost impossible to say no to. The psychological power of this is immense. Every tiny task you complete gives you a small hit of dopamine, a little reward that says, hey, you did it. This creates momentum. It builds a positive feedback loop where action leads to good feelings, which encourages more action. But what happens when you hit a setback? Because you will. It's part of the process. Sarah certainly did. After a few successful small projects, she bid on a much larger one she was really excited about. She poured hours into her proposal, and she didn't get it. She was crushed. The old voice came back. See? I told you. You're not good enough. This is the second critical point. Embrace the process, not just the outcome. Failure isn't a verdict on your worth. It's data. It's feedback. Instead of giving up, Sarah asked herself, what can I learn from this? She looked at her proposal again. Maybe her pricing was off? Maybe she didn't showcase the right kind of work? She even took a bold step and sent a polite follow-up email to the client, thanking them for the opportunity and asking if they had any feedback on her proposal for her own professional growth. They replied. They said her design work was fantastic, but another freelancer had more experience with the specific software they used. That wasn't a failure. It was a piece of information. Her next step became clear. Spend an hour learning the basics of that software. She wasn't just climbing her mountain anymore. She was learning to read the map. This mindset shift from I failed to I learned is a superpower. Every mistake, every rejection, every setback is a lesson if you choose to see it that way. If you try to film a video and the lighting is terrible, you haven't failed. You've learned you need to research lighting. If you launch a product and nobody buys it, you haven't failed. You've learned you need to work on your marketing or talk to your audience more. See the difference? One is a dead end. The other is a signpost pointing you in a new, better informed direction. Now, let's talk about the fuel that keeps you climbing when you're tired and the setbacks are piling up. It's your why. Why are you climbing this mountain in the first place? For Sarah, it wasn't just about making money. Her why was freedom. The freedom to choose her projects, the freedom to manage her own time, the freedom to wake up excited about her work. This why was her anchor. When she felt like giving up, she didn't just think about the clients she lost. She thought about what it would feel like to finally hand in her notice at her soul-crushing job. She visualized drinking her morning coffee while working on a project she loved from her own home. Your why has to be powerful and personal to you. It's the emotional core of your goal. If your challenge is to get healthy, your why isn't just lose 20 pounds. It's this having the energy to play with my kids or feeling confident and strong in my own body. If your challenge is to learn a new language, your why is connecting with my family as heritage or traveling the world and speaking to locals. Write your why down and put it somewhere you can see it every day. When your motivation wavers, and it will, your why is what will pull you back on track. It's the compass that keeps you pointed toward your summit, even when the path is foggy. So let's recap the strategy. First, take that massive, intimidating mountain and break it down into the smallest possible steps. Focus only on the step right in front of you. Second, embrace the process. Reframe failure as feedback and setbacks as lessons. You're not failing. You're learning and adjusting your route. And third, connect deeply with your why. Let it be the emotional fuel that drives you forward when the climb gets tough. One final thought. Look around you. Not literally, but think about the people you admire. The successful entrepreneurs, the incredible artists, the athletes at the top of their game. We tend to see them standing on top of their mountains, and we assume they were just born climbers, that they have some special gear or a secret map that we don't. But the truth is, every single one of them started at the bottom, looking up, feeling overwhelmed. The only difference is that they decided to take the first step, and then the next, and then the next. Sarah? She runs her own successful design studio now. She has a team of 2 other designers and works with clients she loves. The journey took her 2 years. It was filled with tiny wins, frustrating setbacks, and a lot of learning. But she got there, not by a giant leap, but by countless small, deliberate, and brave steps. Your mountain is waiting. It might look big, it might look scary, but it's climbable. What is your first step? Not tomorrow, not next week. What is the one tiny thing you can do right now after this video ends? Whatever it is, go do it. And then, when you've done it, take a moment to acknowledge that you've started the climb. You are on your way. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what challenge you're facing and what your first small step is going to be. Reading them is a huge inspiration for me and for everyone else in this community. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content to help you on your journey. We're all climbing our own mountains, but we don't have to climb them alone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.